Have you shifted your profit planning yet? Now, I'm sure you do some kind of profit planning, but I'm not talking about the normal business plan for the year or the budgets or that kind of thing. I'm talking about a crucial shift from planning for budget, planning for profit, to something else. And I'll tell you what that is. Valuation is an essential part of running a business, but people have a confused idea about how it fits into what they do and how it relates to their operations. We're going to try to clear that up. I like to talk about 3 power paths to success. The first one is profit. You've got to make money to be in the game, and make money means profit. Profit are the cheap seats, and if you aren't in one of the seats at all, then you need to figure out how to get into the game. Once you're into the game, however, what you do then really separates the winners from the people who are always trying but never quite get there. And the second one is to accelerate your valuation of the business. And you do that by moving your focus from profit to valuation. And we've talked about valuation as being made up of 2 different things. One of them is profit, but the other one is how risky is your business? And that can be reduced by the way you structure the business, what your leadership is, whether or not you use a budget, and you have plans and a bunch of business fundamentals that reduce the risk. A shorthand for you may be a conversation with your banker that says, since you're an expert in risk, what can we do to reduce the risk in our business? And you don't have to pull back on your growth plans in order to reduce your risk. You don't have to do that. So the third one, and the most crucial one, is to invest for valuation, not for profit. Here's what I mean by that. Most people will make an investment and then figure out what the return on that investment is by some method. And let's back up a second and note that the most crucial decisions that you make in the business, in my opinion, are investment decisions, because investment involves a hunk of money that you can't repeat quickly, that is going to go to something that will either go to growth or improve profit or both. It's a crucial move in the life of the business, and how you make that choice has enormous ramifications. Most people measure the return against profit. Excuse me, there's a problem with that, which I call the ROI trap, and it's this. Let's imagine that you were investing $3.5 million. Which is a lot of money. And you want to measure the return on this, because the question is, should I do this? This could be an elaborate machine. It could be the foundation of an expansion in a new market, whatever it is. How are you going to measure the return? And the question is, return on what? Here's an example. If you decide that this investment is going to return an additional $1 million in profit in a year, that is 28% ROI. Not bad. That's a good one, and you do that, right? However, if instead of return on profit, you think about return on valuation, that $3.5 million, which will get you $1 million in profit, will get you $4,800,000 in valuation, because we're looking at the power of valuation, which is a combination of profit and market risk. That, instead of being 28%, is 137%. Stunning. I'm not doing magic here. Now, why is this important? Because if you cut this down and say, all right, I'm going to make a smaller investment and the return is going to be smaller, and instead of 28%, we say we're going to get a seventh of that, which is 4%. And a seventh of this is about 13%. it's 3 times as much. And you won't do this because you'll say 4%, I'm not investing for 4%, I can get that in the stock market. 13%, wow, that's a whole different game. And the risk, this is the most important part of this tape, is that most investors, and I'm talking about business leaders, make the mistake of looking at return on profit, and they will skip something because it only gets them 4% when they could get 13% if they're looking at valuation, which is really the game. So the rule, the gold if you will, is that every investment should boost valuation. Always. If it doesn't, don't do it.